Hello, welcome back to the channel once again. This is Humble Empire, still solving problems with passion. We're going to continue our training. Last week, we learned about the sources of heavy metals, knowing that it's not only coming from mining areas, but we have natural sources and anthropogenic sources as well. Today, we are going to continue our training, and we are going to look at the effect it has on our soils and plants. Now, most of these heavy metals, the major effect that they have on our soil is to kill the microorganisms, which are the main agent for decomposition of organic matter. Some also changes, for example, lead changes our soil pH and affects the soil absorption rate, reducing fertility. So it changes and it affects the microbial communities like copper and zinc. Also changes the organic matter content. It affects, so mostly it has to do with our fertility of the land, of the soil. Okay, this organic or this heavy metal, affects the component in making sure that we have a fertile soil to produce our crops. So it's destroying the organic matter, it's changing our pH, making it more acidic. That means that you need to spend more money to correct that acidity, or to spend more money to make sure the land is fertile. Other than that, whatever that you grow on it is not going to yield, it's not going to produce any good yield. When it comes to the plant, it does do what reduces the biomass. It affects the root system as well. Some even inhibit germination, and it affects the DNA. And it affects also the protein and the nucleic acid enzymes and lipid formation. And it damages the cells of the plant. So in effect, it causes plant health damage. Okay, and this also, at the end of the day, then it's causing the plants to die, which is very, very bad for our production. As some of the effects, it reduces the nutrient uptake and then plant growth. It causes intracellular ion imbalance and membrane degradation as well. It plants collapse within a short period and to die. As I said, it also inhibits key metabolic processes of the plant. It inhibits root growth and development. So this is something that, because the soil is not healthy, the plant cannot grow. Plants need a healthy environment and a healthy soil to grow in it. Now, this heavy metal destroys the structure of the soil and the health of the soil, making it difficult for our plant to grow. And even if you force it to grow, whatever that you are taking in will not be healthy as well. Now, one may ask the question, are these heavy metals mobile at all? Let's answer that. One thing we need to take into consideration or understand is that soil pH is a crucial topic when it comes to soil health, because when the soil is acidic, it increases the solubility of these heavy metals and then makes them either mobile or volatile. For example, cadmium is relatively mobile in soils, especially in acidic conditions, and it can leach into groundwater and be taken up by plants. Lead is generally not mobile, because it binds itself to soil particles. However, it can be mobilized through erosion or human activities. When we talk of mercury, for example, it's very volatile metal and can evaporate from soil and water, forming some toxic compounds like the methyl mercury. It can be transported long, distances through the atmosphere. So yes, it can be mobile and it can be volatile depending on certain conditions, soil conditions. So when we have the heavy metal mobility, can lead to groundwater contamination. Yes, when it does this. So if you have heavy metals in location A, and it leaches into the groundwater, it moves this, and then location B, it's also being affected. If it leaches into our river bodies, then it's moving into location B and it's being affected. So we cannot just sit down and say that because one location is where the heavy metals in, we don't have to solve it. Location B is safe. Nobody is safe. We need to tackle this holistically. So in conclusion, these heavy metals affect the health of the soil, which in effect affects our plant health. And as you can see on your screens, these are the various things that it affects. So we need to make sure that we have a corrective measure, and we need to understand that based on our soil pH, that is something that we all need to take it very serious. You can have these heavy metals being soluble and then mobile or not at one location. Next week, we're going to talk about the effects of these heavy metals on humans when we consume products or food that are being cultivated under soils that are full or contaminated with heavy metals, and what it does to us, not just us, but the next generation or even our children. Yes. So catch us next week when we look at the effect that it gives to humans. Shalom. Peace.